Sanbonani. So for those of us who voted for the EFF on the 3 ballot papers, come guys, we've got something to talk about and pick a bone with the leadership of the EFF, because there is some contradictions that are appearing right now. Coincidentally, the person that is most qualified to deal with answering questions from the media is the one that's causing this confusion. And of course, I'm talking about advocate Dali Mpofu, who went to an interview at Newsroom Africa and followed it up with a Climate Manyatela interview at Radio 702. Now we find ourselves, when we are searching the answers of the leadership of the EFF when it comes to this VBS story, the donation, the crime, money laundering, scameka, what happened actually, we see that there is an inconsistency of answers that is appearing. Let's talk about VBS volume 2, like you guys requested.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we are doing VBS Volume 2. And the reason we are doing this is because obviously you guys have requested it, but it's an ongoing issue in the market. We have to come to a point where we analyze the information, analyze what is being said, so that there can be clarity as to what is happening. The main clarity that is consistent from everyone is that there is no crime committed. That is the main clarity. So keep that one in mind as we are breaking down what is happening here. So I did the video, and before I uploaded it, then Dali Mpofu, advocate Dali Mpofu, had an interview at Newsroom Africa. Then I had to change what I said in that interview because he was coming up with now new revelation. I was like, ish. Now I have to delete this whole thing and start again. Started again. Then again, there arose another interview of him with Climate Manyatela at Radio 702. Then again, what I was saying in that video was contradicting what was coming out there. Then I had to again scrap the whole thing. So you will excuse me for taking some time. But you know, if better credible information than just information for the sake of information. Dali Mpofu has come out with an angle here where he's wearing his legal hat. And I don't think this legal hat was the best hat to wear in terms of answering this VBS issue. You understand what I'm saying? He's trying to do damage control. I think they released him to come and try to do damage control because of the clips that are coming out, the old clips of what Julius said and what Floyd said and what the media is saying, what the affidavit is saying. Like I said, he's the best person actually to deal with this type of thing, but he was supposed to wear his political head instead of his legal head. Let's first listen to the interview at Newsroom Africa, and let me come back with my thoughts after that.
It was said that these were monies that were paid to the persons that you've mentioned. But Totsi now says, no, this was a donation to the EFF, not to the persons that you are mentioning. And he says that he had of course he does say that he had a meeting with them, but he specifically says that it was a donation to the EFF. So there are 3 things that need to be separated. One is, let's call it the Zuma loan. Because he says that what sparked this whole thing was because the EFF was criticizing the Zuma loan publicly, and it was damaging to the organization. So he felt that he needed to meet. Now, that's very normal. I can tell you, I've been in the corporate world. I've been so-called corporate affairs and stakeholder management. I've even been a CEO. That's what happens. If your company, if someone is talking about it, you either go yourself if you're a CEO or send your corporate affairs people to explain, as he says in the affidavit. So he says he went to explain the Zuma loan, and that's why he had the meeting. Now, it turns out that he says at that meeting, he also said, look, our constituencies are the same, and offered, this is very important, offered a donation himself. Now, you might want to say, well, why would he offer a donation? The answer is that companies offer donations. We've just had now an election where tens and tens of millions were given to political parties. And then, of course, he then says that this donation, which he offered, was then paid over, or there was this arrangement that there must be a bank account and so on.
You see now, what Dali Mpofu is saying is difficult to criticize him, because with the head, like I said, that is wearing, the legal head that he's wearing, he's completely right. He's completely right in terms of the hat that he's wearing. But he does not see this thing properly from the people's perspective, from where we are sitting. Because the beloved EFF is loved by its people. And the beloved EFF said they never received any donation from the beginning. You understand? So now he's saying, listen, it was a donation to the EFF. When I heard those words, I was like, what? What? How can you say so? Because even the affidavit does not say that. The affidavit said he offered the donation to the EFF, but then gave it to Skameka as a channel to the EFF. It's not the same thing. So that's what the EFF was supposed to say. But looks like there is something. I don't understand what is it that they could hide, because like Dali Mpofu is saying, there is absolutely no wrongdoing here. No wrongdoing. He explains the Zuma thing. The Zuma thing we don't care about. As EFF supporters, we don't care. The VBS bank awarded Zuma a home loan of 7.3 million. So what? Singena pitina lap. You spoke negatively about the loan, and then VBS went according to the affidavit anyway, and looks like now there is elements of truth in the affidavit, because remember, in an affidavit you don't have to tell the whole truth. You can tell a half truth. You understand? You can say I went to go see King, and then lie what you said, and then there is proof that you came to see me. So because there is proof that you came to see me, then the lie that you're gonna tell of what happened when you saw me will become truth. And you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So he says, no, companies offer donations all the time. Yeah, no, we understand that part. There's no question about that. Excuse me. There's no question about that companies always at all times offer donations to, we know that, we know the families, rich people, rich companies offer donations all the time. That's not the point here. That's not the point here. The point here is that you never clarified this in the beginning. Because the EFF people were never going to get angry if EFF leaders came out and said, hey, you know what, VBS also funded us. Because remember, there's two issues. There's another issue of the loan that the EFF asked to renovate, restaurant. They paid back, Skameta paid back that loan in full. It's paid off in full. And he does not even mention it here, of which is something important to mention, that Skameta is the one that received the loan and they paid the loan back in full. They don't owe VBS money anything. So now the question the matter in question here is the donation to the EFF via Skameka or King. You understand? So this very poor explanation from an advocate. I'm very disappointed. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting something like this. Very poor explanation. Very poor explanation. So now the question then remains, are you denying or are you agreeing that you guys received a donation. Listen to what Dali Mpofu.
All right. So before I move to Mr. Tebogo Kaz,
Yeah.
just for the record,
Right.
there is no denial this time that the EFF party did receive funds from VBS.
No, there's never been a denial of that. That's why I'm saying there's nothing new. There's always been there are two. I was saying there are three things. The third thing is the loan, and that's what has always been in the public domain. Now, so you must separate what he calls a donation, which is what happens to political parties. There's no political party that doesn't receive donations. You see, let me assist you, Xoli. What is being said here is that there's corruption, okay? So I say, where's the corruption? Where's the fraud? And where's the money laundering or any crime? Okay. And let me assist you. If, let's take the worst case scenario. Let's say the guy says, okay, I'll give you a donation. He doesn't say that, but I'm just making it up. Let's say he says, I'll give you a donation if you stop criticizing me. Let's assume he said that. He didn't even say that. Even if he said that, so what? Because it's not a crime to criticize someone on a public platform or not to criticize them, for that matter. So it's not as an exchange for any corruption. What was the EFF going to get in return for not criticizing him, which happens, as I say, every time companies engage.
Dali Mpofu, no, guys. No. He says no. The EFF has never denied that they receive money from VBS, and that's a very, very poor response that he gave there. Very poor. Categorically, he said, "Listen, we never denied that we received the money." Now that's a problem. You can't say that. You need to explain by receiving the money, what do you mean? The money never came directly to the EFF. Yes, the donation was offered. It went to Scameta, the other business, and infiltrated to the EFF. Say it like that. Instead of saying that, he says, now, let's say, he makes scenarios because he's a lawyer. He thinks he's in court now. He says, no, let's say he did say that. Where is the crime? Where is the money laundering? Where is the fraud in all of that? There is no fraud. Nobody said there is fraud here. You understand? And people will say, King, this is poor people's money. Our grandmothers invest. Our grandmothers were taken off their land. Our grandmothers were raped. Our grandmothers and grandfathers were hanged. You forgave the apartheid regime. And some of those people who committed those crimes are still alive till today. So for me, it's not an issue of what happened there. It's an issue of transparency that the EFF failed to execute. And we have to say it like that. You understand? We're not angry that they took the donation. No. The donation was offered, and I'm going to explain in the next clip that you absolutely cannot compete in the South African political space without money. And 5 million goes a long way. 1 million goes a long way. That's why I told you guys, in politics is a dirty game. All the top 8 political parties, all of them are political parties that received big money. All of them. All the top 8 political parties that you see there or on the IEC website are political parties that received money, and the DA being the one that received the most money. So for me, yes, we agree there's no crime. Yes, we agree, there's no corruption or anything like that. But that's not the point. The leadership should have came out the first time and said, we were offered this. Because like he says, there's no crime in criticizing VBS or because of the Zuma loan. Absolutely no crime. It's politicking. VBS did not understand that because they were incorporate, they wanted to fix the matter because of bad reputation. But they followed it up according to their affidavit to say, listen, you are also part of the people that our client, our target market in terms of funding. So we will fund you. And yes, he did not say, for the sake of you guys leaving the Zuma issue, we are willing to fund you to keep your mouth quiet. That part is not, it's not there, it's mute in the affidavit. He never said that. Understand? He said, "Hi guys, I'm coming here to explain to you guys how we awarded the loan. And anyway, guys, you guys are part of the people that we are targeting. We can the bank can give you guys some donation." But because they were criticizing the loan, now they are unable to turn around in the public and say, "Hey guys, that bank that we were criticizing, they are actually our friends. They gave us something." You see. So he says, "We never denied this thing." Okay, it's fine. You never denied it. Now let's hear the interview at Climate Manyatela at Radio 702. What was he saying now?
But Advocate, I'm asking a direct question based on the confusion that's now created around what you said. So last night you said, we've never denied that we received money from VBS. That's what you said on Newsroom Africa last night.
No. What I was saying, Clement, is the following. It's linked to what you thought was a contradiction. What I was saying is that if, let's assume that the money was given to Scamek or Mpofu Enterprises, okay, for argument's sake. And then if I then donate the money to the EFF, I was saying that if the money flows that way, then there's no way of saying that the money that I'm donating is the money that I got from Standard Bank.
But did the money flow that way is what we're trying to establish?
No, I'm not saying that it did. I'm saying even on the version of this guy, which is what is making you to interview me now. That's why the issue has come up. So don't put words in my mouth. Okay. Don't ask me questions that don't make sense.
Okay, Advocate, has the EFF received...
document that's in front of you, okay?
Yeah. Advocate, has the EFF received a donation, as Chifuya Matosi says in the affidavit, from VBS?
No, I don't know.
How can you not know that as a political party that cares about the interests of poor people where a bank has been looted?
No.
And they are linked.
No, because firstly, your question is misleading. You're saying, as Chifuya Matosi says, Chifuya Matosi did not say any such thing. It's Clement Manyatela.
No, Chifuya says, I told the EFF I'm going to give them a donation. And then I signed. So I'm asking you, as the EFF, are you saying categorically clear right now to us that the EFF has never received money, a donation from VBS?
No, neither does that guy say that. He says he gave money to Skameka.
So have you received money from Skameka?
Well, but Clement, I've just said if the money came from Skameka or Dali Mpofu Enterprises or Brian Shivambu Enterprises or whatever, it's not possible to link it directly like that.
I think now, after that interview, there was an engagement at the EFF office. That, brah, we know you are a lawyer, but you were not supposed to say it the way you said it. Young Todd, you were not supposed to say it the way you said it. Now, we have to explain ourselves now. Now, when he goes to that interview, you can hear even a little bit he's agitated when he's answering the question. He says, no, you are misleading people with your questions. No, it's not misleading the people. It's asking you a straight question. Hey, did you receive the money or not? Now he even says, my mother used to beat me up when I said words like, I don't know. When we were doing our homework, my mother said, don't say you don't know. Answer wrong so that we can correct you. When you say you don't know, it means you are failing to apply your mind. And my mother used to beat the shit out of me. So I would just give especially with mathematics, I was struggling with maths. I would just give an answer 72 and she will beat me And then after she beat me, she asked me, how did you get to 72? Now I have to explain a lie. But it was better than saying, I don't know. You can't say you don't know. Why did you come here to answer the questions if you're going to give us I don't know question? Well, we know, because there's video evidence of Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu saying that they never received the money from Skameta or from VBS.
We're going to state here categorically clear, without any fear of contradiction, that the EFF and ourselves as members of parliament never benefited anything from the VBS looting and the so-called heist that happened there. But one...
That the people who should be interrogating you, in essence, should be those who've dug through the forensic evidence behind the VBS story. Now, as a party, what you're putting to us is that you handle it pretty much the same way as you're handling this, and maybe that's where the gap is, you know? As opposed to hearing each other's side of the story, maybe do the digging, you know? When we ask you about donations to EFF, for instance, you said there were no donations. Are you basing that on having gone through the books, because that might have been reflected in a report, or is it because you said to each other, well, actually there were no donations?
No, the Treasurer General was asked to go and look into EFF bank statements to check if there were donations from VBS. Yep. And her report was clear. There are no donations from the VBS.
No, but at this moment...
So that does not need any interpretation. That does not need any interpretation. And I want you guys to get my mood here. I'm angry at the EFF for not communicating. I'm not really angry for them for taking the money, because like I said, how are you going to compete with the DA with no money? How are you going to compete with the ANC? These people are heavily funded, heavily, including the IFP. You understand what I'm saying? How are you going to compete with these people? So I understand that money is needed. I mean, if you look at what is happening now in the EFF camp, you can tell that there's no money. Last year, they had a beautiful event at the FNB Stadium where they celebrated their 10th year anniversary. Big event. This year, they're coming to where I stay. Hopefully, I'll be getting some interviews next week when they're here. They're coming to Kimberley. But in Kimberley, they choose one of the smallest stadiums you can ever imagine. Small stadium. You understand? So, when I say small, I'm talking about a stadium that has a grandstand where people are sitting only one side. It's not even, it's a playing ground, man. It's a soccer field type of, maybe I'll try and get some visuals for you guys so that you guys can see. Because it then becomes difficult as a political party to compete with the ANC and continue competing, because these things, they require money, millions of rands. I mean, I think they gave us a financial breakdown when they went to Mbombela. Told us these things cost money. Just the stage alone is 1 million. The stage, the lights, the mic, the deco alone is 1 million. You know, so they cost money, these things. Now, we as the people that support the EFF, we must understand, and the MK, we must understand, they need to do what they need to do. But they need to be transparent in what they need to do, so that we know what we are voting for. Because the aim of this VBS saga is not to get Floyd and Julius in jail. It's not possible for them to go to jail because of this. It's not possible. But it's to make them lose numbers, to let people say, EFF is corrupt and all of that. That is what, the same thing that followed Jacob Zuma for many years. Jacob Zuma is corrupt. The EFF can bounce back from this. But how are they going to bounce back? If I was part of the leadership, I'll come out and I'll talk straight. I'll talk straight. Talk still good. Hey guys, we did have a meeting, and in that meeting we were told the affidavit, what he's saying is partly true. Skameta did get the money, and but now you have to explain how did the money come out of Skameta and come to the EFF. Or you don't, and legally you don't need to explain it legally, but morally and ethically so, you need to explain to your people. Yeah, but so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm happy with what the EFF is doing now and whatever. I'm not happy. They are still, for me, the best political party out there, alongside with the MK party. I will still vote for them. Even, you know, I will never change my mind and say, I'm going back to the ANC. How? How you call it? It's MK or EFF, no other. Understand? But I think the mistake is done. We must now decide, do we forgive the mistake? Do we understand the mistake? And that is going to fully depend on the attitude that they're going to drive going forward. Because after this, what Dali Mpofu has said, he can't take back. And the video clips are there, you know, of them denying and Dali Mpofu saying, yes, they did receive the fund. It's messed up. It's messed up. And on that video of Newsroom Africa, Dali Mpofu can still argue because on that video he was saying they did receive it and no, they did not receive it. He was saying it both, but in a legal terminology. You understand? So they can still survive. I don't know how, but they can still survive. But your boy King is not happy with how this thing is sitting on the public eye, especially people who are not black conscious to understand what a political party has to do just to get 100,000 rand with a low membership. What you have to do to compete with because honesty does not pay the bills. Honesty can get you loyal supporters like us. But look at the honesty that Azapo has. Look at the honesty that the ATM has. Look at the honesty that the PAC has. I mean, in its membership and everything. But the numbers are just too low. They will get you 1 seat, 2 seats at best, you know. So you need to compete financially. And that's not me that's saying go and take money from white monopoly capital. Never. That's not me saying that. I'm saying be transparent as to where you get your money. Sometimes you come and you say, hey guys, the white man has offered us 20 million. Must we take it? You throw the question to the fence to test their black consciousness, their pan-Africanism. Some will say, yo, 20 million, take it. Some will say, no, we can't accept 20 million from that person. Then you say, hey, we come back, say, we can't accept 20,000. Our people have said no. Understand? So that next time they understand, when you don't have enough banners, when you don't have enough flyers, when you can't make enough events, they understand, no, it's that 20 million that we said no to. And you rather sacrifice that and keep your pride as a political party. So that's my volume 2. Looks like there will be a volume 3, but pending new revelation that is going to come out, because wherever Julius Malema and Floyd are going to walk, they're going to now be asked, hey, agents, you said on this day and time, you said this and this. Dali Mpofu said this and this and this. What are you guys saying? They can't avoid this thing, and they must not avoid it. They must just come out and deal with it. That's my take as your boy King. You know what? There's absolutely no embarrassment in making mistakes. But once you make the mistake and try to cover it, it brings about a bad reputation to you. That's what I'm saying. Still love my EFF. Sabatanda labantu laba. Sabatanda. Let them come out and be transparent with us. That's all we are saying. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Build the school. Baseta. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute.